Rob Snyder's up next. He says, what memories do you have that you can share with us about the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, Virginia? I think that venue is now closed. And he adds, thank you, Arn, for doing this podcast.
Oh, well, thank you guys. You know, we're always wanting to do the extra and give you extra because you deserve it. And we appreciate your loyalty. The one thing I think everybody should do is, when you go to Comic-Cons or wrestling conventions or independent shows or whatever it may be, and you see these incredible backstage photos of the different talent through the years. There was a guy, Eddie, who we lost just a while back, who was the photographer backstage in Richmond. And a lot of the stuff you see today, those backstage pose shots, all the Horseman stuff, that was Eddie's stuff. And I think it's important to give him some recognition because he did really unbelievable quality work. And the stuff that I use today, some of the pictures that I use today are all Eddie's stuff. I can't think of his last name. Can you?
No. Let me try to see if I can find him out, or maybe one of the ad-free show members if you want to search for it. Eddie, the photographer. He did a lot of your photography, you said?
Yeah, he did everything in Richmond. That's where he was based. That's where he lived. And he did just quality. We didn't know at the time, 30 years later, it was still going to be floating around out there. But it really, really was. He was a quality photographer and a big fan. And we lost him this year. I just wanted to give him some credit because when you think of Richmond, that's what I always thought about. He would be very polite. Hey, when you guys get dressed, you mind if I get some pictures? And we'd go out, and little did we know we were doing ourselves a lot of good.
You know what? And I'm glad you brought him up. Our research guy's here, so hopefully he's checking it out, and we'll throw it in the comments for us. But, and it's some of those guys that you never hear of behind the scenes that really help, move you forward with whether it's appearances, scheduling dates. I know that you and we had dinner with Tony, and he's just a great guy that helps, you out and others. But man, there's so many guys that, they don't get all the praise and accolades, but are really just so important to helping as far as, with these different things like that. You said you still uses photography.
Yeah, 100%. It's like Tony Hunter when he brings his lineup of guys, it's guys from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, but you look at them, it's an all-star team of the guys that are still in the business, and a lot of the pictures we use are a lot of Eddie's stuff that he took back in the day.
Was it Cheslock by chance?
100%. Cheslock.
Adam O'Neill, thank you so much, brother. Eddie Cheslock, he threw it in the chat for us.
Yeah, and a good guy, and hope his family are doing okay. I know he had a lot of health issues, but it's always nice to give the right people a pat on the butt for the right reasons, and Eddie was a part of our business.